He's a man of action, a man of power, a self-made man, a man with a dream and an unwavering belief in his ability to instigate major change for the good of everyone. The Berlin International Film Festival, Cinema for Peace, invites philanthropists, sponsors, and stakeholders in humanitarian projects to meet passionate filmmakers, those who conjure up dreams as well as nightmares on the screen. It's exactly the right platform for Harald Seiz. The Schwabian power dreamer is the CEO and founder of Stuttgart-based Karatbars International GmbH, established in 2011. Seiz is in every sense a golden boy. He knows that gold is treasure and a stable asset. Gold is his area of expertise, but his intention is not to own as much of it as possible. Harald Seiz wants to make it as accessible as possible, to better distribute resources and wealth in our world, to enable everyone to prosper. That's why the Cinema for Peace is the perfect stage for Seiz, and accompanied by his wife, he cuts an especially fine figure. The foundation promotes social awareness using the medium of film, films that wouldn't be seen due to lack of financing. We have to portray what's happening in the world today, and that's why it's something that is really very, very important for all of us. No one had to convince Harald Seiz to support the Cinema for Peace initiative. He does it out of a sense of conviction, letting his intuition and judgment guide him. It was a conscious decision on his part to get involved. The first thing I do is to get to know the people behind it. And you always have a feeling about who you can or can't work with. And if the feeling is right, and also the organization, as in this case, well, I decided I wanted to be part of it. Of course, I always look forward to seeing these people who are so committed to driving things forward, and those who donate and give their support. It's really like a close-knit family, and I love seeing these people again. The Schwabian boy with Greek roots and challenging road before achieving success as an entrepreneur. And his journey is not over yet. His vision is to establish gold as a day-to-day means of payment in both physical and digital form. Gold as the cornerstone of a new financial and payment system, as a secure currency for the people. It was his sense of responsibility towards everyday people that led Harald Seiz to gold. When I was 19 years old, I was working in the financial sector. When I sell something, there has to be passion, and I have to believe in it. At the time, I was selling life insurance as a provision for retirement, because back then, the 70% of the last income, that's how it was then, was what people got as their pension. And somehow they had to bridge the gap. And I was a passionate salesman. And when I saw how in 2004, I think it was, they disclosed their costs, I discovered that up to 50% was going to the insurance companies and the other half was being invested for customers. And they made the promise that at some point there'd be 100,000 on your account. Could cash in. Exactly. And I thought, how can you invest in something when essentially you lose half? And I thought about it. What's the alternative? And I decided gold was it. Because at the time, that was the currency. And I formulated this plan. And with such incredible success, right? I mean, 2011 isn't that long ago, and you already have such an amazingly successful track record. Yes, that's right. So I started with small denominations, 1 gram, 2.5, and 5 grams, because that makes it affordable to everyone. Because my opinion is that you have to speak to the masses. So I spoke to the masses. Worldwide, we have customers and business partners in 120 countries. It's actually a few more now. To date, it's pushing 600,000 people who are customers or business partners and who obviously believe in this vision. And you never stop, do you? You have to keep going somehow. That's right. And that's why cryptocurrency is such a big topic for you right now. Yes, in 2017, my business stagnated a bit, so you have to ask why. And everyone, or a lot of people, are moving into cryptocurrencies because they, well, sometimes greed devours the brain, because they thought they could get rich quick. And I looked into it and I realized how great it would be to combine the market with a blockchain, to produce a gold coin. And I acted immediately, and within 3 months between November 2017 and February 2018, I had brought out a coin. But it's really amazing. Here we have an innovation, a technology of the future that we lay people can't really wrap our heads around. And you're combining it with means of payment that's so old and so embedded in tradition.
Genau. Also das Alte mit dem Neuen verbinden. Modern.
Exactly. Combining old with new. Modern, a modern means of payment. That obviously works in the virtual world. While on the other hand, we have, or at least in the last 5 years, I've developed a method of payment, a physical means of payment. We call it cash gold. It's a bill embedded with 0.1 grams of gold, so that it always retains its value. And the idea behind it is that this means of payment, when you hand it over, you exchange it for goods of the same value.
Dass derjenige auch den Wert wieder dahinter hat gegen die Ware.
A global currency, a gold coin. Armed with a vision, Harald Seiz approached the Deutsche Parlamentarische Gesellschaft in Berlin, an independent association of parliamentary members. Here at Friedrich-Ebert-Platz, representatives of the people get together regularly, often for breakfast meetings, to discuss topical issues with experts or to get the opinions of visionaries like Harald Seiz. Certainly, I find it very refreshing to meet these visionaries because I believe that our society can only develop with their help, and especially in times like these, where we're entering a new digital age. We need this visionary strength to forward as a society. Obviously, it's often the case with new innovations that they're not that successful at first, but we still need them because there are lessons to be learned from these early failures, and later we can draw on a wealth of experience as we move forward. And looking at Mr. Seiz and all his ideas, I think it's great that there are people who believe in them and follow them. Obviously, there's always the question of how successful it will be. Are people, society, and especially the world of politics ready to embrace these new ideas? And the belief in a global currency or a global payment system is obviously not only shaped by a vision, but in my opinion is also a little illusory to a certain extent. Because obviously, while we still have a separation of powers and the existence of nation states, we still need the central banks. We need fiscal policy, and we need monetary policy as an important political instrument. So it's very unlikely that nations, states, or even politics will be ready to hand everything over, to relinquish control, and to develop solutions. It is an exciting topic. Ultimately, I think some form of parallel currency will still come to establish itself because we've repeatedly seen throughout history that whenever we try to prevent something politically, once Pandora's box has been opened, it can't be closed again. And there's a popular idiom that applies here. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. And I believe that is very much the case with Bitcoin and blockchain technology in general, and with all of the topics that Mr. Seiz is dealing with. It's going to be very interesting. I can't tell you or even begin to tell politicians will react, but as a rule, we tend to lag behind innovation and behind the visionaries who, thankfully for all of us, are focusing on important issues and who believe in what they're doing and who continue to follow that path. And without question, Harald Seiz will continue to follow his path because it's the challenge that drives this power dreamer forward. It's the spirit that has shaped his entire life.
Ich habe niemals aufgegeben und bin immer wieder aufgestanden.
I've never given up. I've always gotten up again. And people only see the success story. They don't see everything that came before it. You can lose everything 3 times and start again from nothing. I stand here today, and it's a great feeling to be a part of it. I was born in Germany. I'm a German, and I want to remain here. And I want to lead everything from here, our worldwide plans for our globalized coin and payment system.
Mit unserem globalisierten Coin und Zahlungsmittel.
Harald Seiz, an entrepreneur who relentlessly strives to realize his dream. What drives him forward and the role his difficult childhood has played will be revealed in part 2 of CEO Berlin.